I like the freedom of the indie shows to get weirder and be able to do a lot more. And you don't have to necessarily have a headliner that has a certain number on TikTok or some of those other rules of club stuff. I don't care if you wear shorts on stage. Like, you know, there's so many.
You have to for some of your shows.
I do have one show that is required, but like, yeah, to step away from some of those rules that are deeply ingrained in us from watching 80s stand-up.
Right, the dude in the suit, the white dude.
And it's, the freedom to book more women and like people of color that a club would and things like that. Yeah.
I feel like the indie is like what the clubs will be. Like the indie's kind of like the bleeding edge, and then eventually the clubs like get that.
Yeah, and in the last like 5 years or so, so many great indie clubs have opened that aren't a chain, which is really nice.
Right,
like, Wits End is great. The Comedy Fort and the Comedy Attic in Bloomington, like both of those are probably two of the best clubs in the country, and great indie clubs.
Yeah,
that they don't have to answer to
Indiana.
Anyone.
Is the second one?
Yeah, in Bloomington, Indiana.
This is part of this. Is I'm gonna like listen back and I'll start emailing them. You know.
Yeah, I'll give you a list of all my favorite indie clubs, but. Yeah, there's so many good ones. I mean, you have Blue Ridge Comedy Club 45 minutes from here as a indie pop-up that came out of the pandemic. And I mean, really the only thing that's stopping me is the Asheville real estate prices are bananas. Yeah. I keep trying every couple of years and then being immediately slapped down by my lack of $5 million.
Yeah. So that is like the holy grail or the dream. Like you would be up for running a indie club if.
I'm definitely way more, I don't know what the term is, just tired.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years. The last couple of years have been very hard, especially in Asheville.
Yeah. A lot of calamities.
It's been one after another, and it's been really hard. And the flood was kind of the pushing off a cliff that it's frustrating seeing everyone being like, Asheville's open, come on back. Yeah. And we're like, we don't have traffic lights. Yeah. So.
Before we hit record, you were talking about how the cemetery by your house, like, body corpses like rose up to the
I just lived with like loose Civil War soldiers piled up behind my house for 6 months before college students reburied them, and that's
which side were those soldiers
vibe. Well, we're in the South, so we can guess they were not great people. I mean, Zebulon Vance, famous evil man Zebulon Vance, is buried directly behind my house. And
perfect evil name, though.
It's the best name.
I named my kid Zebulon, and they turned out to be a villain? That's weird.
It's a good villain name. It's like his parents are like, this guy's going to fight to reinstate slavery. We just know. He's going to try and bring it back.
Zebulon.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's beautiful people buried back there, too. But the evil spirits are stronger.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to believe in ghosts to assume that to be true. I think you could not believe in ghosts at all and not want to live next to a cemetery of bodies that rose up out of the ground.
But yeah, it's interesting that you haven't gotten like jaded and burned out yet, because I think you've been Modelface is like 10 years-ish.
Oh, more
right?
than that.
Is it more than that?
Yeah. And I feel that I'm jaded and burnt out all the time. I try and recenter and try and remind myself. That's why I also do trips where I'll go to like New York for a week or two. And
when I talk to you, you'll be like, 3 months from now, I'm going to go to a place where nobody fucking asks me about comedy shows. Yeah. And I get in a hot tub.
It's important to do that. Like if you work in an office, you take a week off to go on vacation. Yeah. And it's really hard to take a week off because you have to still feed the social media goblins
the algo,
every single day. Yeah. So even on my day off, even if I'm homesick, I still have to keep posting stories. Yeah. And that is such a heavy weight of like never stop posting, because if you do, then it shuts down your algorithm and you got to start over and you can't sell tickets.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. And then most of my vacation is going places for comedy, which is great that I get to do that. I'm not upset about that. It's an amazing privilege to get to go to other festivals and participate and do industry panels. However,
still kind of work world.
It's
still kind of work brain.
It's actually double work because I have stuff going on here. I have to be completely present there while on my phone, keeping an eye on what's going on here. And then everyone's like, must be nice to have a vacation. And I was like, oh, I'm working twice as hard.
Yeah, I mean, all my local business owner friends, I'm old friends with the family that owns the Hop and the Devil's Foot, and it's like, you can't, it's just nonstop. So it's like, I used to have this dream of like, I'm going to run my own business my own way, and now I'm like, steady paycheck, fucking you find the work. Like it's I
think about it every day of how much I should have just become a cog in the machine and have full health insurance and a car with air conditioning. And how much better my life would be if I just did data entry.
You put like half that much effort in and you get all that. But it is like, I mean, I work from home some days, but certainly not on the clock now, but I work in a cubicle some days too, and it's like, so the grass is greener. I mean, it is like just the soul crush. It's
always
going
to be greener on the other side.
Just the enforced culture on you. But I have seen enough of like I have kids and shit. I don't have bandwidth. It seems like your own business is a child. It's like a never-ending mouth to feed.
It is. It's everything. And especially not just like a small business, but a small business that depends on the success of every single day. Every single show is kind of make or break right now.
Yeah. And venues are changing and closing. You get a thing going.
I have a new venue that's finally opened up 9 months after the storm, and then 2 others that are closing because of this, or people are nervous about locking in too many events because they don't want to commit more than a month out because they don't know what their sales are going to be. So it is probably the most hectic it's been in a long time for venues. And
do you have any idea like how many shows you've run, or do you have like last year? Do you count? It's got to be like over 1,000, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to do the thing where I would like post in January how many I did of like how many comedy shows, how many fundraisers, how many drag shows. And then this past year was such a chaotic ending to the year, and by ending I mean ending of the third quarter and then no fourth quarter. I just kind of like, I didn't even try because I was like, I don't even know how to go back and count this.
Wonky,
and honestly, most of my record keeping washed away in the flood. And so like there were a few people that were like, hey, I haven't been paid for a show in August, and I was like, and you never will be, because that notebook where I keep track of everyone is somewhere in the Gulf of America. But I was like, here's $30, I'm so sorry. Like I don't know what to do.
I'm a data person for my job, so like I like the numbers because I think that's how you really like, if you bomb at one show, it's like, well, I did 200 shows this year, so that's good to have some bad ones. So
I do love numbers.
I would imagine like if you do like 4-ish a week, that's 200 a year, so that's like 1,000 in 5 years. So I would bet you're up to like in the thousands.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot slower this year. Like the last couple years, it's definitely, we were doing anywhere from like 5 to 10 shows a week, depending on the time of year. And it's weird that now it's July and part of me is like, I should have 10 shows this weekend. It's the middle of July, it's summer, and I have 3. Yeah. I have 3, and I'm like, we gotta move some tickets, you guys.
I feel like summer's harder in some weird way. Like people want to be
it's usually
on the river at a brewery. Like people.
PSA, don't go in the river right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Please stop doing that.
This federal soldiers just floating down there.
Yes.
But like, it does seem like you're doing like Eulogy and you've kind of like graduated to
I've
some
been focusing
bigger
more on
rooms?
some of the bigger shows as we cut down on the amount of shows because there's just a lot less people in town, and according to the news, we're not going into recession, but that doesn't keep all of us from preparing like we are, and everyone who is in town, we live through a catastrophe. We don't exactly have a lot of expendable income right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to focus on some of the bigger events and less of all the other smaller ones. And what's hard about that is that it's harder on the scene because it gives a lot less opportunities to the local comics.
Yeah.
Because all those smaller like showcases where there's anywhere from 4 to 8 people on it, there might be 1 or 2 out of town comics and everyone else is local, whereas a big headliner show there's one spot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man, you got to balance it though. I think like the Shane Torres show you did, I think that was last year, right? That was like one of my favorite shows I've ever seen. We got sat in the front, Eulogy, and he had just put out a special, so he was like, "Here's some." And to me, that's like 10 times more interesting than like, I'm taping the special next week, so I'm just running it. He's just like watching someone of his stature do like, let's try some things out. That really stayed with me. That was like more so inspiring.
Good. I love when the local comics come out to see the bigger shows.
Yeah.
Because I also think that you can learn so much from just watching other people do comedy and watching other people also that are outside of kind of what you're doing. Like if you're a clean comic, come watch those shows, but also come watch what other people are doing and get ideas and get inspired. Like I was saying earlier, I go to New York for at least a week or 2 every year because I need to remember how much I love doing this where I'm not in charge. Yeah. And I might, let's be honest, I'm going to run 1 or 2 shows in New York while I'm up there because I can't help myself.
And it's like the Mecca. It's like that's almost like the holy, whether you're into what
selling
New York.
Out a show in New York is the greatest high I've ever. I don't know. I'm pretty sober.
It's like playing at CBGB's if you're, if you're like a punk band or something, you can cross it off the list.
Selling out my first indie show in New York was the coolest feeling.
Hell yeah. Do you have a flyer for it you can put on your wall or something?
I do. I have one hanging up in my office.
You gotta have that,
Absolutely, I do. My friend Eitan and I were doing shows for about a year in a deli in New York, a classic East Side Jewish deli. Deli Laughs was the name of the show, and we did an all Jewish lineup with a secret goy on each show. The goys were not paid. And it was just like a silly little Jewish lineup, and it was so much fun, and we would get really great comics because there's 8 million comedians in New York.
Yeah. And I got some funny Jewish people up there.
There's a few of them. And so it was just really fun to do these deli shows, and we would wedge 75 people into a deli, and it was great.
Yeah.
And we would do themed cocktails.
Yeah.
That would be offensive if we did them here in Asheville, but it was fun because everyone in the room was chosen. So
it's kind of interesting how I feel like you'd think that like New York, they're all like beyond being offended in certain ways. It's almost like Asheville can be so like we're trying to be, progressive, but it's very white. So it's refreshing to go to New York, and they're saying all kinds of wild shit, and people are just, everybody's like diverse, and they're all just laughing. It's like, oh, okay. I think if I said this in Asheville, that would not be.
Yeah, and it's cool. Also different parts of New York is different too. Like that show was great. It had a fun freedom. The same way an all queer showcase in Asheville is fun because the queer comics here can usually do well on any show in Asheville because it's a pretty liberal place.
Yeah.
But to have a room of an almost all gay audience, all gay lineup, and being able to just push it so much farther than you can other places, and you kind of can let loose. So when you're in a deli and the audience is 98% Jewish and the lineup is 100% Jewish
Yeah.
and everyone working there is Jewish. And to be able, like, the deep cut jokes that we're doing about the summer camps that we all went to. And like,
you don't have to set it up, explain what it is. You can just get right to
throwing some Yiddish into the middle of the joke and not having to explain it for those in the audience. Like, just rolling with it is so much fun.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, it's the same of any kind of theme show where your audience is the whole theme as well. It's a good time.
You know, Julia was saying that she's like, you know, have to get up and be like, I'm trans, this is what it is. Whereas she'd much rather just get to the jokes and get to those niche like things that the references are just understood. In a brewery in Asheville or, you know, anywhere, you kind of got to be like, here's what it means for some of you.
Yeah, it's nice. Like we did a queer show last night. And Josie was on, great local comic, and Josie didn't have to do the 2 minutes of jokes of acknowledging I'm a trans woman. Everyone in the room was on board as soon as they walked in and just went straight into everything else and could get looser and farther into the set. And it's nice being able to do that. But also, sometimes you have to just acknowledge those things up top in a 1 second joke in your first throwaway, and it is exhausting doing it every single time, but it's a great way to get the audience to just pay attention because they're like something
something I don't understand,
and instead of them being like, are they, what's going on, or like if you have a speech impediment or an eye patch, like if you have something visibly different
from there, and you don't address it, it's like,
or like even a really strong accent. I have a friend in New York from Uruguay, and he has a joke about, yes, I know I sound like drunk Dracula. Moves on because he has such a thick accent, but also one that we don't normally hear, and just this is what's happening. Okay, jokes now.
Yeah. And I think the audience goes, well, you know, I got some weird thing. Maybe people don't hear it when I talk, but I'm worried that people can kind of relate to it. Like, even though explaining you're trans, you know, I get that that's exhausting. I see like an elderly white couple that it's like they've never listened to a trans person tell their experiences. So that might change them a little bit. They might have somebody in their family later that
you might push the needle a tiny bit, and it's hard to put that responsibility on the comedian. Yeah, it shouldn't be our jobs to make anyone feel better about themselves, or
make points. I mean, that's a weird thing too. I feel like you should always say you're not trying to make points, but then you kind of are, you know. But
you quietly can.
But then you can just be like, "What? I'm just fucking around. I'm just a comedian." But you kind of, it's a great like cop out, you know, which can also be used for evil as well. But you know,
it can. It actually got to choose the president clown last year, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Comedy can very easily be used for evil, and I try so hard to use it for good.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there's a lot more money in evil.
Yeah.
It is lucrative.
Yeah, well, it's crazy now that it's taken over the culture to the point where it's not just usually the arts like music and comedy are like very left leaning, but now it's like it's just spilling into all the
I don't want to. There were so many comedian friends that we all had that became way more red in the pandemic because they saw the paycheck in it, and it was weird. That was our first experience of really just like losing a lot of friends. We're like, do you even believe this, or do you just want to not stop touring because of the pandemic? Like what are we doing?
I'll write jokes for the audience that doesn't give a shit about masks or quarantine.
And then, you know, I have other friends with extreme autoimmune diseases that are just now starting to tour 5-6 years later, and I'm like, okay, it's wild, and I understand you gotta go where the cash is sometimes.
Yeah, and comedy, I feel like more than like music, you can listen to a recording from the 40s or 50s. It sounds great, but comedy, like if you listen to Lenny Bruce, it doesn't even.
Comedy does not age.
It's like it is a fleeting sketch of right now, which makes it awesome, but also it's like you can't really lean on your jokes from like, I feel like anything I wrote before COVID is just not even like, you got to just keep, so it's like it's hard, but I also love that about it. So whatever's happening now is like a sketch of it's the state of things. Like I work in climate research, so like every day it's like, it's very uncertain because all the funding for like climate change is going away. So
it's not real.
Yeah, so it's so and the government is like it's not real. So it's like, but my hope is that like we're hitting a point now where it's like people are gonna realize like, okay, let's never do what we're doing now again. Like it's bad. I mean, we'll see. But my hope is
half the country is underwater, the other half is in a drought.
Yeah,
it's
on fire.
It's a little rough right now. Asheville got to do both. We got to be on fire and underwater within a month of each other. We're doing so well here.
Yeah,
but indie comedy is great.
So you're a Warren Wilson kid originally?
I did go to Warren Wilson, so I
wanted to get into your origin story a little, with as much as you want to share.
I do believe in climate change. I did go to the greenest, hippiest college in the country. I do shower every day, so you can be both things.
Yeah. But I mean, did you like when you were like a teenager and stuff? Did you like you're in the arts? You're kind of one of those unusual people that I think we need more people that book and run that aren't trying to just leverage that to be on stage. As I'm sure that's like 99% of it is like you run shows so you can get on shows.
Pretty normal in bigger cities,
right? Yeah.
Because there's so many people like me. I have a lot of friends that are similar to me, that they are the people who book and run and organize shows, and that's a job that exists in a lot of places. When I first started doing it in Asheville, people thought it was really weird because I wasn't.
Yeah, in the Southeast,
I had no aspiration
unusual
to get on stage, and I was just like, I don't understand. I admire so much comics like Joe Pettis and David Rodriguez, where I'm just like, I don't know how you are basically like you are running an independent comedy club and on tour.
Yeah, and writing material.
And writing.
Because both are full time, I mean.
And have children. And I'm just like, I don't know how they do it because
I ran a show for a minute, and now this is the show I run. I don't have the bandwidth to like set up chairs every week. Like I just can't.
It's exhausting.
But those of you that do, I mean, that's the reason we get to do it. So
yeah, that's the real
shout
dream
out
of
to the bookers.
The club is so I don't have to drive chairs around anymore. I just want them to be stationary.
Yeah, just nail the chairs down.
I'm so tired of driving them around.
But when you were like a teenager, I mean, you got into the arts. I mean, did you start out being like, I want to perform music, or did you kind of just be more of an organizer and leader, or what was your? How'd you start?
Have always been on the event organization and leading side since I was a little kid.
What was your first like
a Girl Scouts, baby?
Oh, really?
I was heavily involved. I'm still
Indiana. Is that
Ohio?
I
am a lifetime member of the Girl Scouts of America. I rep them very hard.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of my time there.
My kid you just met, the little one, she's
a Girl Scout.
Yeah, we sell cookies.
Hell yeah. I was very into Girl Scouting. Like any program when you're a kid, it's also kind of what you make it. We had a very small, like, especially as you get older, your troop is like 6 people, because there's not a lot of
drop off
in high school that are still doing it. But what we also all realized, and we're all completely different people, but we would come together for Girl Scouts, and for us, it was a way to do these like really impressive trips and adventures through cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies.
Oh, I'll bring those cookies to the office. People are like,
they're so good.
Bloodthirsty.
They're the best cookies in the world. I go nuts for them.
They went up from 5 to 6 this year, so it was like making change just got to be a whole thing.
But that's the point. So whenever I get cookies, I always give them too much money. And then I wait for the kid to make change. I won't let the parents do it unless they're like first graders.
Yeah.
And then I usually just give it back to them and tell them they can keep it. But the whole point is to learn how to make change and count money and run a small business.
Yeah. I love that. Girl Scouts is the origin.
I think
of
that's
Modelface Comedy.
It really is. But I also, that's why when they became $5, I was like, no, it's too easy. Like it needs to be like $5.50 or something.
Yeah.
Which is annoying as a customer, but that's the whole point, is to do that and not just order them on a form and get them dropped off. It's to have them learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that they still go door to door in your neighborhood.
We do.
You do?
We
okay.
Do. And I mean,
I think about that. I'm like,
we have a wagon full of cookies. You will
but you
go around
with
the block.
kid.
And, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was the 90s and there were no laws in the 90s.
Oh, no. Kids are just...
In Ohio, there's barely laws now. But yeah, I think
the Midwest.
Yeah, like the amount of houses and like I lived in a bad neighborhood that for my entire childhood would just walk around by myself. Usually my parents weren't even home and I'd be like, time to go sell cookies. And I would just like walk around my little meth neighborhood by myself being like, do you want to buy these?
That explains some things. I mean,
it was just like a bold little kid. Like
the grit.
And now I'm just like, I wouldn't go to that house.
I feel conflicted about that because I obviously don't want my kids to, be traumatized in certain ways, but it's also like, your kid can almost turn 18 now, and then it's like you've never been out alone because it's like you just don't.
Yeah,
it's frowned upon.
Some of it.
If you see a kid walking alone, it's like call the cops. Yeah.
I think that I think our generation overcorrected with children because we realized that we were a little too loose.
Yeah. We got older and started telling about what happened. It's like, oh shit,
and
okay.
Then it's like,
and then the information.
And now
you
we
hear
have to
about
work.
Every bad
now
thing.
we have to work with these kids, and we're just like, these kids are weird. And it's like, well, we've never let them out of the house.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta have some freedom as a kid to scrape your knees and all that boomer shit, but like also you can keep an eye on them from down the street. I think you could sit out front and watch them go to all the houses so they have like a false freedom is good. Whereas like, I was just loose. No one knew where I was. Just walking around with a bag of money, 8 years old, just being like...
My kids would go to work in the summer. I would just get on my bike with no helmet and just be like the whole day, just like just randomly... Just very unsafe, unsupervised, but it was great. I mean, it helped me. But yeah, I don't let my kids go too far, but they do run around with neighborhood kids, and I feel like that's good.
This is a good neighborhood.
I know that's good. Yeah, we lived in some other neighborhoods that we lived in Kenilworth before, which is a great neighborhood until you have kids, and there's just like needles everywhere and stuff. You're just like, there's like somebody that walks by the house every hour that you'll never see before, never seen again. It's like kind of.
Yeah,
it changes your filter for what a neighborhood looks like.
My neighborhood is odd because it's like half Airbnbs. People are like, it's so cute here, and I'm like, it is, but half of my neighbors change every 3 days.
Oh yeah, Montford's got both.
Montford is weird.
The richest and
and then
the public housing.
Being right next to the park, it's just an endless parade of people you've never seen before. And then sometimes it's just an actual parade. I realize I've never told anyone this until the other day. So I have a very small dog. He's extraordinarily social.
And adorable.
He's very cute.
3 legs.
And he's 3-legged, the best.
It's like the way you're saying about the eye patch. Like if he got on stage, he would have
to acknowledge
address it.
He likes his little outfits. He's so handsome. He's recently gotten a bucket hat, and he's been wearing that everywhere. He won't go outside in the rain unless he has his hat on now. But when there's Shakespeare in the Park by my house, and so all summer long, when the plays let out, I'm not normally home on the weekends at this time, but if we are, there's a 30 to 40 minute window where just hundreds of people have to walk past our house. And if I'm home, we stand at the end of the driveway so my dog can greet all of them as if it is a parade for him. And it's very weird and cute.
Yeah.
And I told someone about it the other day, and I realized I've never told anyone about this weird thing that we do. But it's like
he likes meeting people.
It's like he's the queen, and the parade goes by, and he just has to wave. Where he's just like, "This is for me every weekend. 3 nights a week for spring through fall." He's like.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to my park.
He's a show dog, you know.
He is
comes
a show
out to
dog.
shows. After his show, he just wants to be part of that energy.
Yeah, he
not like dog show shows, but like people's shows.
People shows. Yeah, we were sitting on a couch watching the show last night, and then host brought up the next comic and everyone clapped, and he just hopped off the couch and walked up to the stage like, for me? And I was like, oh, you're not next. You're the closer. But yeah, he loves the applause. He always assumes that it's for him, and it usually is. Yeah, it usually is.
Yeah, that's adorable.
He's a cute boy.
Okay, so Girl Scouts through high school, and then do you go to Warren Wilson like right after high school?
I
do some gap years and do some crazy adventures we need to know about. Or?
I went to Warren Wilson right after high school for 1 semester, and then my grandmother was very sick, so I went back to Ohio for a year and a half and took care of her. And I went to school there for a year and a half, so I did an associate's in waste engineering. You know that classic move we all take.
Is that like environmental?
Yeah. So it is waste engineering, and then I focused on wastewater engineering, which is a degree I did not use until the city was underwater, and wow, was it my time to shine. It was wonderful and more terrifying having a complete knowledge of how our systems work while they were failing, and then seeing news reports and being like, well, that's not true. You should all still not be drinking the tap water. It's
I don't even think
really
I want to know about that. I didn't drink it for a long time.
It's
good to drink it now, right?
No,
dang,
it's
drinking it right now.
I know, we all gave up, but it's not great. The turbidity is still really high, just science stuff. We can get into that on your science podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Yeah, it's not great, but it is a cool, weird degree that I just casually have an engineering degree this whole time.
Well, I think you can know.
I've been secretly smart.
You can know all things through one thing. It's like if my kids are interested in some weird, obscure thing, it's like, well, yeah, if you follow your interest, and then if you run a business, I'm sure there's things that you learn. It's still the flow of things. And I
did it backwards. What I did is I focused my job in the arts with an interest in engineering, and I should have been an engineer who just goes to comedy shows sometimes. That would have been a much better idea. But also, soon we won't have environmental engineering jobs, so maybe I made the right call.
Yeah. So you did that, and then did you run like music shows for a bit? Was that your first?
I have. So I ran a lot of events through the Girl Scouts, and I ran big stuff. So I was in Cincinnati, which is a very large, big city, mid-sized city, I guess, but it's a large Girl Scout council, and I would organize events for the city. So we would have a special camp out for 500 middle schoolers, and I was the middle schooler that organized it, which is so I guess I've known who I was the whole time. But I would come up with all the workshop, not just me, but like a group of us, and we would come up with all the workshops and organize it and put it together. And
so you've always kind of had that attitude of like, well, I could run this shit. Like,
and
it almost sounds like wastewater a little, because you're like, as a systems view, it's like
I love logistics.
I
love logistics.
I love logistics
I
too.
did find out at like 38 that it might just be autism. It might just have been autism the whole time.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the same thing.
We don't diagnose women until they're in their 50s, and but it's I do love logistics. I love systems and
logistics
how they work.
Makes it all possible, because like my favorite artists that I've known through this whole journey, music and comedy, like some of them you get a mic in their hand and an audience and they're freaking incredible, but if they don't have logistics, you're not going to ever go on tour, you're not going to get a website, you're not going to send out emails that are coherent, and without logistics you really don't have shit, unless you have a manager or somebody that'll do it for you, but you're not going to have that until later.
You have to learn how to do all of those sides of the comedy industry, and it's hard and people hate it, but I hate social media reels and I have to do them. So
your workshops have been super helpful. I want to give a shout out to those that you should totally come to those.
I need to do more, because I also
came to last one, I took notes, I wrote them down, I went home, like just hearing over and over again, send specific dates, drop the video in there.
Yeah.
Don't make them click to go to your website for that. Have it all be in one place. I did all those things, and then more shows. I was like, yeah. Logistics, like follow instructions. The world's not going to come to you. Like you have to.
I am not ever going to gatekeep how to send a good email, because all that's doing is hurting everyone on both sides of the email.
Most people never do it anyways. People will ask me, they'll be like, how do you play Knoxville? I'm like, here's what you do, just like you. And most people go, well, I haven't got my good video yet. I'll do it later. Most people are actually afraid to succeed. Well, like you do have to jump in and be clumsy and embarrass yourself.
A secret is you are never going to have your good video. You're always going to have
you're always going to kind of hate
a video, and you should always be working for a newer, better video, because you should not also have, this is my good video that I've been sending for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, it ages out of being a good video. You're like, have you guys heard about this pandemic? I'm going to turn it off. Where I'm just like, oh, no, you haven't written anything new in
some
5
people
or 6
wear
years.
masks, some people don't wear masks.
Yeah, it's, I don't... You gotta stay current. I need to know that mostly that you have written and have been trying stuff in the last few years, where it bums me out when I have headliners that come through every year and they're great people, and I'm like, okay, but you've been doing this set every time you come to town for the last 5 years. Like, there should be 1 or 2 new things in there.
Yeah. I love that. I love the feeling that pressure. Like, I did my dry bar, and it's like, I will never do any post. I will never do my kids or Kmart. Like, you have to, at some point you can feel people in the room being like, how long is he gonna say this fucking joke? And I judge people too. Like, if you go out to a mic and you see somebody doing the same 5 minutes that's not working, after 6 months you're like, what are you doing? Like, you're just wasting your stage time.
Especially at a mic, there's something about the Asheville scene specifically where people will do the same material at a mic for 5 years and then do new stuff that they've never tried
on a show,
on a paid show in front of a full audience and just bomb.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is backwards.
Yeah.
It's backwards.
Well, it's the logistics. It's a system level view. It's like you have to be able to be the person with the feelings on stage, but then I love logistics, and I think, that's one of the reasons I'm interested to talk to you. I got Jeremy Alder coming on Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
he's
he'll
in
be here
for your show for the weekend, and he's like someone that we're about the same age. We started about the same time. He did the dry bar before me. He's someone I just watched. Now he's doing his Christians, who don't suck thing. He's found, like, he's a very funny, awesome person, but he's like, he understands the hustle and the logistics.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to be like, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions.
Yeah,
tell me what to do.
He's
dude.
great, and he's also in the position we were 9 months ago of his city underwater. So,
yeah, right.
We have advice for him too. I actually have a whole pile of stuff in my living room for him to take home. But it's logistics. Yes, started in Girl Scouts, started booking events for other Girl Scouts, and then went to engineering school, and then I came back to Warren Wilson. And did environmental education, which I think also adds to my love of events and stuff, like my love of education. And I mean, I'm not a park ranger or anything that I thought I might be when I was a teenager, but I do workshops, like you said. I go and I get to travel all over the country and teach these workshops.
Yeah,
and I love doing it, and I probably get a lot of that from the fact that I did go to school for environmental education and learned how to teach, but specifically how to teach in a non-classroom environment.
Yeah. Yeah, and those, like, my career definitely has taken a bump from those workshops. I think that you really got something there. Yeah. Whether crazy artists want to hear it or not, these maniacs who think it's just all about, the moment on stage, is like...
And that's okay. It's not for them. It's for people who are open to really, like, moving forward, and the people who can hear advice are always going to go farther in their career than the people who can't.
And you have to treat it a little like a business. Like, you really do. Like, I think there's this idea that, like, integrity is like, you never ask anyone.
There's no integrity.
You never
anymore.
promote yourself.
As soon as social media was invented, it's gone. But
and there is a line where you're like, you got the desperate sweat on you, and it's off-putting, but you gotta promote yourself. You have
to do it.
You gotta promote your shows. We have to promote ourselves with videos.
Yeah, it's hard, but I also look at it. Those overly confident, I'm 6 months in and I have nothing left to learn people where I'm like, well, the workshop isn't for them. I don't care that they don't want to come. I don't care that they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I love the room full of people that like you that are taking notes. The like pack of women that I get to meet in every city that come out and take it so seriously because there probably isn't a female producer in their city at all, and they're just like little sponges, and it's so exciting. And then they get really good really fast, and I come back a year later and they're like a whole level up, and it's so cool to see that. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's what I want my girls to see. A lady empower saying that stuff. It's like I tell them that, but it's like it's extra nice when it's like, look,
you gotta
you can
representation matters.
Yeah, totally.
It's totally. Like it does though. It's being able to see, and as white people, it's important to be represented. But as a woman, and I guess technically a minority as a Jew in the South for sure, but it is important to see other women succeeding and know that you can do it, and not pulling the ladder up is the number one thing. Because also for a long time, especially in comedy, it was like
pitting women against each other, that kind of thing. Yeah,
and it's
totally.
like, okay,
we got one spot, y'all tear each other apart for it.
And it's like, as you start coming up, then it's like, well, I'm not going to help the other woman because then I have more competition for these spots. And especially what Aaron Terry and I do with Eyes Up Here Comedy, which is our all women's shows and all queer shows, it's the opposite. Like, we're like out there actively building new ladders. Like, get over here, come take our workshops, come do everything.
Let's see if that helps with the air.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I need to get Aaron Terry on here too. I need to make a note.
Oh yeah.
Put a pen.
You got to get her in the next month because she's gonna have a baby.
Oh, okay.
Real pregnant. Yeah,
I want somebody to bring a baby on eventually. Maybe get Kayla back with the Kayla.
Yeah, have Kayla next month with a newborn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's so important to just work as a team. I wish the Asheville scene worked together more.
That's my quest. If I have one thing, I want everybody.
And not just in comedy, but, I go to other cities and they have, like, they come out and they support each other's shows. They go play softball. They go get lunch and hang out with each other's friends. And I invite people to do stuff sometimes. I'm like, oh, do you want to just, like, go walk around the nature center and get coffee? And they're like, why? I'm like, friendship?
Will there be stage time?
Do you want to just be my friend? Do I have to pay you to be my friend? So it's that's something I've always wanted to see, and I've tried throwing barbecues and stuff like that where I'm like, no, it's not a show. We're just gonna like all hang out and cook hot dogs. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be friends. And they're like, well, there's an open mic. We all have to go to that. I'm like, okay. You can come by, like, we can do both. I don't, where I'm like, sometimes you also have to pause the hustle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you're saying about taking a vacation. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great to allow yourself time off to live, because then you have more to talk about when you're on stage. But the Asheville scene is always changing too. I feel like people get funny and then they go to Atlanta or New York or somewhere too. So
it's a very starter scene.
Yeah, we have a great, I think the post, like right after COVID, it was like everyone was new and terrible. But now the post-COVID comics, there's like a good, like a chunk of people that have like found their voices, and it's a really nice time. They haven't started leaving or quitting yet.
Yeah, they will soon. Yeah. But it's also like if you're after 5-10 years, it's like you do have to set a rhythm that you can keep up. Like people almost like you go out 5 nights a week. It's a lot of time being out at night. It's something I struggle with having a life outside of comedy too, where it's anywhere from 5 to 7 nights a week. I'm out. I'm in bars. I'm not really drinking. I'm not partying. I'm not.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not out in bars hanging out with my friends having a fun night. I mean, I am friends with the comics. We are having fun, but it's not my night off getting loose. You're
responsible.
I am responsible. I'm boring, but like it's it's really hard on that one night that I don't have something to do to motivate.
Yeah.
And then
you don't have to be motivated on that night.
I know,
don't
but then
be motivated.
But then I feel like I never do anything outside of comedy, so I have this struggle where I'm like, it's my one night to stay home, but also I haven't. My New Year's resolution last year was once a month to do an activity or go to a concert or something that I have nothing to do with. And I was doing pretty good with it until the world exploded, and I'm trying to get back into that.
Yeah. But the world keeps exploding, which makes it
so
hard.
I actually have tonight off, which is a Friday. I never have Friday nights off. And I have a very dorky activity scheduled, and no one wants to come with me, and I'm going to go by myself.
D&D?
No, I maybe dorkier because that involves friends. Once a month they do a grown-ups night at the zoo at the nature center, where it's like adults only, and you can drink beer and walk around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
And that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And they have a special event. They made like fancy giant ice enrichment activities for the bears.
Yeah.
And you can drink a beer and watch the bears go crazy on flavored ice.
Yeah.
And that's my grown-up activity for the night of I don't have a show. I'm going to the zoo.
I like the snakes and the otters the most.
I know. I love meatloaf.
Right next to a giant rattlesnake that.
Yeah, but it's behind glass.
Yeah, it's a little sad, but yeah, you can be right there. And there's like
really
nothing more terrifying to me.
See what they look like too, which is good for learning. But I love the hellbender, that giant hellbender.
Lizard. It's a lizard, right?
Salamander. But yeah, his name is Meatloaf.
Yeah.
He's so handsome. But yeah, I love the zoo. I did a workshop in Denver one time. Kelsey Rosen was there, who started in Asheville.
Yeah, she's still doing it, right? She's out there crushing it. Yeah,
crushing it out there.
Yeah,
but she
got a voice. She got a unique angle.
Yeah, and someone asked me, about like, the work-life balance of it, and it's one piece of advice I give comics, especially when you're a few years in. When you start comedy, it is your hobby. And you have other stuff you do, and then this is your hobby activity. And then you keep doing it more and more, and eventually, if you get good at it, you have a shift, and you also have to shift it in your head. Because this is your, like, once-a-week fun activity, and then it becomes 5 to 7 nights a week, and it's how you're making your money. And you have to step back and find something to replace what comedy was when you first started.
Right, yeah, it kind of slowly became...
It's important to go find something else interesting or something that take up a new hobby, and everything doesn't have to be a side hustle. It feels like that in our culture. But you can just learn... coming out of the pandemic, feels like it. Coming out of the hurricane, I started doing watercolors. I am very bad at art.
Love it. Yeah.
They look like nothing. They are not for public consumption, but it's just very calming for me.
Yeah.
And it's nice to just sit on my porch and just paint blobs.
Yeah. Totally.
For no reason at all. And I can throw them away and I don't care. And they mean nothing.
Having kids has got me back into that. It's like you're upset about somebody at school. Like, let's sit down and draw a picture, and then like it comes out, you start talking about it. The picture doesn't even matter, but the process of it totally transforms.
It slowly keeps consuming you as you go from open mic into regular shows, into this being your main source of income, because now it's like, oh, I gotta edit these clips, I gotta make a graphic with all my dates, I gotta send emails, where it's not just the open mic hang for a couple hours. It's the bulk of your day.
Business.
People don't realize how much of your daytime is also comedy, not just the 10 minutes you were on stage.
Yeah.
That there was 4 hours that led up to the 10 minutes on stage. And so, yeah, you need to replace that, what was a hobby, with a new hobby.
Yeah, you need to have a life to make art about.
Matt White in Raleigh has a great joke about it that he started doing a few years ago. He's like, I got so good at comedy, I was finally able to quit my day job because I make enough money doing comedy. But now I have nothing to talk about on stage because I don't interact with anyone.
Yeah, totally.
So you still have to go out in the world and have experiences. And
that's why so much of like the hack old comedy is about like airports and stuff, because you're just on the way to
that's where we are. Yeah, the airport is where we're hanging out. But yeah, like you gotta find something to do. I go to the zoo a lot. I find it very calming. I have a membership. I go to the zoo everywhere I am in the country.
It makes a lot of sense. It's animals, water,
you get your steps
logistics.
in. It's calming. Sometimes you can get a frozen lemonade. It's a nice day. And there's one in every city.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the timeline though. What was like the first model? Like what was the first comedy show?
So I started doing shows with Disclaimer at the Southern.
Yeah.
As I started running the Saturday
nights
right.
I remember
at
that.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
And then eventually I moved out on my own.
Did you have the name of your brand right then?
Kind of, yeah.
Did you come up with it for comedy? Was that? And what does it mean?
The origin story is very stupid and boring. So do you remember when Facebook was new and also we didn't care about things like computers and you would just leave your laptop open or your desktop all the time because there was no such thing as cybersecurity? Yeah. So, yeah, like I would just be logged in at my job at Warren Wilson, and then other people I worked with, you know, you would just, I see it, and you would just log someone out and log yourself in. I remember sharing computers for email. Insane. Yeah, and we just left our stuff up because the only thing that would happen is maybe someone would type like, Melissa is pooping. Yeah. And it was just like, and it was like, I got you. Times were good back then. This was 1,000 years ago in 2005. And you had to have a college email address to have your Facebook. And I left it open, and someone changed my name to Melissa Modelface Hahn. And I left it because, honestly, the most flattering prank of my life. And that was my Facebook name for 15 years.
Do you know who it was?
Oh, yes. It was this this girl, Audrey, that I worked with. We worked in the locksmithing department at Warren Wilson.
Was she a friend or a foe?
She was a friend.
Okay.
She was a friend. We were the two ladies that worked in locksmithing, and we were very good friends, and she did it as a flattering prank, and we would just do, friendship pranks like that, where it's like, got you, but it was something nice. Mm-hmm. And we were just very silly like that, as you are in college, especially when you go to nonsense school. And for anyone who doesn't know, Warren Wilson, very silly. Very small, full of comedians. It's a weird place. But I left it because it was funny, and there were no consequences. Who cares? It's just a Facebook name. But then people started calling me that all the time. And what an ego boost it is when you're walking down the street and someone's like, Modelface! And also the SEO was good because there was nothing else that came up when you searched it.
Oh, yeah. I love this, that there's like you didn't have a list of like 20 and you picked your favorite.
No,
but the universe just gave you.
There's so many Melissas, from the 80s. That's when you named children Melissa.
White Ryans that do comedy, good Lord.
I know, that's why we have the Ryan show. But there's so many Melissas, and people don't necessarily remember that, but they'll remember Modelface, especially when I was starting out in comedy, because that's also how you found other comics. We were all on Facebook. That was the site we were using then. Now it's just for advertising, at least for me at this point. But we were all finding each other on Facebook. So people, even if I had never met them, they wouldn't necessarily remember Melissa because they have 400 other Melissas, but they all remembered Modelface because it's just a stupid name. Like, the success of it is that it's dumb.
I think there's definitely a like TikTok, Modelface. So, it's got a rhythm.
Yeah, the success of it is just that it was a silly prank from college, and then I just let it ride for 20 years.
So then you run those first shows at the Southern.
Yeah, so I ran those with Carrie
and you were
and
like, why look any farther? I'll just call it Modelface.
And so, yeah, and then I started doing more at other places on my own, not necessarily with...
Right. You don't want your brand tied to a location.
Yeah, it was like I loved doing those shows with them, and it was fun having that weekly show there, but I also wanted to see if I could succeed on my own and not just under something else that, like, I love Carrie, but I wanted to see if I could do something
that's its own
without
brand.
his name on it.
Yeah, totally.
And I did. And I think that I hope it's going well.
Yeah.
I'm never fully sure. I think every time I think it's going well, the earth opens up and eats us. So
I think it's going well. I think it's never as good or as bad as people say.
It was like 2 months before the pandemic hit where I was like, I'm full-time comedy for the first time truly in my life. And then it was like, you have nothing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, it's been a couple years since the pandemic. I think I'm like truly stable. And it was like, okay, we're going to wash the city off the earth. And I was like, let's do it again. Let's build this business a fourth time.
Yeah. If it's any comfort, like my friends who run ice cream shops, and it's the same. It's
we're all feeling it.
As soon as you're like, all right, I'm kind of starting to get it automated, and I can maybe, and then it's just.
I'm afraid to say it. I'm afraid to be like, oh, we're doing good, because then it's like.
I watch y'all and I'm like, I'm glad I didn't start my own like web development company. I'm just like, I'll take the steady paycheck and the soul crushing culture. I'm doing that trade off. I mean, I got kids and shit, so I can't. I can't. I think about it all
the time. I just want health insurance. I'm old now, and I just want a checkup. I just want regular checkups again.
Yeah,
I'm tired of saving up for the dentist. I'm too old, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's messed up.
But the dentist is $1,000.
Yeah, it's a human right.
I'm looking for a sugar daddy or mama. Yeah, if you just have a job where we can get married and I can join your health insurance, that's what I call a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
You can be an Amazon driver. That will qualify. But yeah, I guess origin story is, I worked at a lot of bars too.
That's handy, yeah.
I've worked at a lot of like bars and music venues.
So you're in that culture.
Yeah.
It's got a vibe.
I did student activities at Warren Wilson, so I did booking and bringing music and events, so I was in charge of coming up, not a big events budget at a school of 800 people, so we always had to come up with creative events that were fun and silly and low budget to get students to participate in stuff and things going on, and that really translates 20 years later to what I'm still doing, is trying to come up with like, okay, I have a $75 budget.
Roll the dice or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the fun. I like
some of those like nonsense theme shows, and some of them are honestly things that I came up with 20 years ago in college, and I'm like, we can bring this back. I actually saw a video. I have been telling people about this. No one ever believes me. At Warren Wilson, they do a contest every year. Like the way you would do it for 4th of July, the way other people do a hot dog contest, and they do a lettuce eating contest. And I always want to do it for Vegan Fest, and everyone's like, that's stupid. And it's so funny. But Warren Wilson filmed it this year. It's on their reels, and it's very cute. It's just a bunch of, giant farm vegans just competitively eating the most lettuce that they've grown, and it's just silly. And I used to do it every year with my friend Todd, who runs Fontaflora, who owns Fontaflora now.
It's all just water, right? So I feel like that's kind of like almost a metaphor for your water.
Like, but it's nothing. And I was like, but it's not nothing because it's like organic, fresh lettuce from the garden.
It's got the fiber that'll.
It's really good. Yeah. It's like, it doesn't taste like nothing if it's homegrown.
Just never had good lettuce.
Yeah, it's not iceberg lettuce from the grocery store. It's delicious. So it's I've just been dreaming up dumb things for other people to do and then making them do them since I was a kid.
I love it.
And people seem to like it.
Yeah, I just listened to a podcast with Robert Rodriguez, the filmmaker. It did like El Mariachi for like $7,000, and then he did Desperado, and I just love it.
Spy Kids.
Yeah, which is that's just now he's like doing things on that level, but it's the story is like you don't have to have a budget. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you a chance.
Yeah.
The weird ideas you had when you were a kid, just get some people together with a minimal budget.
You can
and
film
to me, that's
things
my
on
favorite.
an iPhone now.
Yeah, like to me, that's just my favorite. That's like what I learned from like punk and music growing up is like the coolest shit. Actually, you see a lot of people, they eventually get a giant budget and a big producer and the art suffers. Like the struggle brings something out of you.
The more money you have, you also have more not creative people that have creative control.
Yeah, right.
That's the hardest thing.
And you got the hangers on. You got people that just want it just because of that, and it changes it.
You have too many cooks in the kitchen. The more producers you add in, you have people that aren't on the creative side, but they're like, oh, we should put this person in the movie because I owe them a favor.
Right.
And then it just becomes so much more of that, and you're like,
and you got a committee deciding what it is now, and it's like everybody has to compromise, which the voice is lost, the voice of the one person.
Yeah, you have to run it past Sony execs instead of just.
And then it becomes like everything else, just watered down and basic.
And that's people ask me if I would ever just take a job booking for a club or something, and there is a freedom in it, which is like I would.
They need to ask you right after a calamity, like the day, like right after something horrible happened.
Well, the amount of people that messaged me soon as the flood hit, that was when I finally could see my phone 2 weeks later, and like the amount of messages like, are you okay? Like, what are you gonna do? And I'm just like, I don't have power yet. Like, I don't have power, I don't have water, I don't have anything. And I was like, I have to get one resource back in my life. I was like, like the hierarchy of needs, I have none of those right now, so let me get at least one of them and then I can formulate a plan. But part of me is like, I should have just moved away, and because it's been rough. But also, I've been with Asheville for over 20 years, and it's hard to walk away from something that you've watched grow up. Like,
yeah, and I'm sure that you could always do that, and you would have that opportunity whenever you did want it.
Yeah, because
you put in the hours and the reps. I mean, it's not something that
honestly the hardest part
you've done it the hard way for so long that you got that if you want it.
But the hardest part of working for like a big
but then somebody
company
tells you what to do
is I have someone telling is I have been working in this industry.
You strike me as someone
out a boss for so long, and when I did Flyover Festival this year, and we're doing the industry panel, and I even brought up on the panel, I was like, one thing I get to do that a lot of the other people up here can't is I can tell you to go fuck yourself.
Right.
And I don't do it often, but when I do,
you just know you have it.
Is like
up your sleeve.
I can send an
even
email
if you never
back
use it.
That's a little bitchier than someone else. I don't have to run it past an HR department.
Yeah. I love that.
I tell people I got into comedy to tell men no. Because some of them need to hear it.
Just knowing you can say it, even if you never do, just knowing like I can tell this person to fuck off.
Sometimes it's nice.
But there's probably somebody out there, if it ever comes to it, that you could be like, hey, I just need creative control. Like, if you're gonna hire me, I'm gonna do it.
And I'll find that.
Don't micromanage
maybe
me.
Eventually, if I do decide to move away. But that's the biggest thing is having worked for myself. I don't want to.
But then you look back on all this and you'll be like, back when it was.
Now that was the good
scrappy
years.
And poor. Like I bet it will. I bet like if you ever stop, time will make it.
There's
give
nothing
it this
like
glow.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, where I won't remember all the rough times, and I'll just be like, no, it was so good then.
Yeah. Or you'll just be like, I'm glad why did I do that shit?
I did that for way too long.
Yeah, that's possible too. It might depend on the day.
But yeah, I just there's so many problematic people in comedy. It does overly attract them.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to work.
You don't even have to learn an instrument. There's no barrier at all. It's like just
no. And honestly, an instrument would be better because then your hands are occupied.
Right. Yeah. You
Comics have too many loose hands.
Yeah. You can't hump things.
No. But they. I don't want to be in a position where I have to work with those people because my boss is like, yeah, we know we can't have like women in the green room, but he sells out. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose my morals for a slightly consistent paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that has kept me from moving into that next level.
That makes sense.
I can't do it.
Maybe you're at the maybe you're the values that you have now will start to become more what mainstream comedy is, though, because I think there is still like the 80s guys in the suits are kind of still in the game, but they're dying off, and people
there's still a lot of them that run stuff.
So there might be, maybe you're part of a wave that will eventually be the mainstream will be less of a compromise in another 10 years.
I think it is. When I made that policy a couple of years ago that people I've never worked with before have to provide a reference from a woman. And it really upsets people. It's been a couple of years now. We're going almost 2.5 years since we made that rule, and people are still upset about it. But I can't lower the bar any farther beyond name a woman. And I think if you've been in comedy to the point that you are emailing people to headline clubs and you don't know a single woman, I just don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't seem fun. I don't even need to watch the tape. At that point, I'm like, you might not be fun. You're gonna be a bummer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with that.
You mean like
guy.
off stage? Like
off stage, on stage,
just all of it.
I don't want to be liable for you in my city.
Yeah.
It's still a small enough town. If you go out and do something.
Yeah, you said that at the workshop. I thought that was interesting. You're like, yeah, we talk to each other. Like, if you're out after the show being an asshole, like, people will find out that that's...
The comedy world's not that big, and especially, like, the indie producer world, like, we all know each other. If you think we don't have text chains, we got text chains.
Yeah.
We all have our favorite people for talking shit with, and... I love it. I love talking shit. That is a love language.
That's probably necessary for staying in the game.
You gotta... People say it's, the toxic positivity of it, of like, you should never... But they do studies, like, you have to have your trusted people that you can vent to. And also, if someone's being a problem, you need to let other people know.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between... gossiping and just being like
safety shit.
I also just like I just need to talk about this, or I need to let. And it's crazy how many known problems there are in comedy, and people are still just like, oh, I didn't know about that. I'm like, well, women have been saying it at full volume for 10 years. Like, you can Google it.
Yeah.
If you still don't know, you don't want to know. You're playing dumb. You do know, and you're pretending you don't because you want to keep idolizing this person.
Yeah.
And, you shouldn't meet your heroes. If your heroes are straight white people, you should never meet them. But
meeting your heroes is, often bad.
Sometimes meeting your heroes works out really good.
Yeah, I think more often than not for me. Not even the way you're talking about, but just you're like, but then it's also like, well, they were traveling that day. They're tired,
Yeah, you're in a meet and greet and you're getting rushed through. Yeah, and you get 3 minutes,
and it's like, it's my turn. I expect you to be. It's like, well, this is a person too.
And also, I know everything about you because I've listened to every episode of your podcast and I've watched all your movies. And you're just like, well, I'm meeting you for the first time. I know nothing about you.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially with podcasts, people forget that it's a one-sided friendship.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Yeah, you've listened to hundreds of hours of this person.
Yeah,
so they're like
you fall
in your
asleep
brain.
with them talking.
Yeah.
They're there every night when you cook dinner, and you don't know them.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they don't care about you, but they just don't know of you.
Yeah.
They might like you if they met you, but it's also weird when people walk up and know stuff about you.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's creepy when they're like, oh my gosh, oh, I'm so glad that your dog this, and it's just like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
flattered to have a fan. And the first couple times it happens to you when you're not used to having a fan, it's jarring. When Chappell Roan got famous, kind of, the classic like 10 years of hard work, success overnight story. And people were like, she's such a bitch. And it's like, no, she went from obscurity to like the most famous person in pop music in 3 months her finances haven't caught up to having bodyguards,
Yeah.
and her mindset hasn't
totally.
caught up
Yeah,
from nobody knows who I am to everybody knows everything about me. And so you have these people like running up to you and just saying facts about you to your face, and it's really scary.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's such a bitch. And it's like, no, you're a stranger who just ran full speed at her face. Like, she's not mean.
Yeah.
That was scary. So, you know, just remember, comics are people. People are flawed.
Yeah.
Artists are heavily flawed. That's where we make art.
That's hell yeah.
Because we're working through our flaws.
That sounds like a good place to wrap up. It's getting hot. We're at an hour and 12 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Okay.
We did it. I'm so glad you came on.
We did it. We talked about Girl Scouting.
Yeah. Most importantly.
I'll come talk to your kids' troop.
Yeah.
I love Girl Scouting.
Yeah.
My passion.
Let's do it.
It's my. I got into comedy so I can
keep Girl Scouting.
Go to Girl Scout troops and talk about stuff.
Well, thank you so much, Melissa.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
This is great.